Good morning and welcome to this place of peace, connection, and solidarity. Today is our annual Earth Day service created by our Green Sanctuary cohort. Our worship associates today are Pam Fodor, Karen McDowell, and Jean Schaefer. And our music is provided by Jamie Pastman and John Cooperrider. Jean Schaefer will now lead us in the lighting of our chalice, the symbol of our church and denomination. And after having made sure that he's not muted, he'll start with our candle lighting words.
All right. We light this chalice, the symbol of our church and our denomination, with these words. In the light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. And now, please join me in saying our covenant together. We promise to listen and learn together with compassion, curiosity, and an open mind, engaging in creating a warm and welcoming community, work together and beyond our walls to address social and environmental challenges, and with our time, talent, and treasure, support our church and its mission. Our first reading today is For the Beauty of the Earth by Barbara J. Peskin. For the beauty of the earth, the spinning blue-green ball, yes. Gaia, mother of everything, we walk gently across your back to come together again, in this place, to remember how we can live, to remember who we are, to create how we will be. Gaia, our home, the lap in which we live, welcome us. Thus ends the reading. And now, please rise in spirit or body to join in singing our opening hymn, number 21, For the Beauty of the Earth. John Cooperrider will lead us, and the words will be on your screen.
For the beauty of the earth, for the splendor of the skies, for the love from which our birth over and around us lies. Source of all to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the joy of ear and eye, for the heart and mind's delight, for the mystic harmony, linking sense to sound and sight. Source of all to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise.
Thank you, John. That was beautiful. Morning, friends. I'm so happy to be with you today. And the story I'm going to share is about a walk in the woods, and that's one of my favorite things to do. I love to use all my senses when I'm walking, listening to the crackle of leaves under my feet, smelling the pine trees, and watching carefully for birds and creatures. And this story is sort of like that. So you can close your eyes and think about walking in the woods, or you can watch the pictures and see what you can find. So the story is called A Walk Through the Woods, and it's written by Louise Geig. The forest is calling with a woodwind song. The branches wave friendly, green rejoicing. This way, that way, wildflowers away to light the path. Snap, a twig. Deer holds her breath. The forest wraps her in a blanket of stillness. Up, up through the thick cloak of leaves, the nest will whisper goodbye. But for now, the chicks join in as the forest sings a ballad of spring, of hope, of light, of new life. The leaves and the blossoms lean in to listen. Statue still, carved from the forest air, hair watches. Suddenly, a quiver, a twitch, a thump. Who leaps from stone to stone? Fox, rabbit, deer. Their tracks sketch the forest floor. Hawk haunts the high woods. His presence chills the air. The animals shiver. They know he is there. Will he swoop? The trees like company. Birds sing in the leaves. Owl thinks among the branches. Hearts beat together. The trees are never lonely. Shadows poke pockets of darkness into tangled roots. Brown button eyes peek out from safe secret peepholes. Fox sleeps, deer sips, the pond memorizes deer space. She tells the pond a secret. The silent pool will keep it deep, deep down. For a trembling sapling, life begins. Oh, to be tall, to bend in the wind, the forest whispers, patience. Round and round, the earth turns, the years into rings in the tree. Every leaf, bud, breeze etched in a circle of memory. Time passes, seasons shift, but the forest remains in and strong. Can you hear it? Calling you softly with a woodwind song.
This reading is We Belong to the Earth,
Don't forget,
attributed to Chief Noah Self. This we know. The earth does not belong to us. We belong to the earth. This we know. All things are connected like the blood which unites one family. All things are connected. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the sons and daughters of the earth. We did not weave the web of life. We are merely a strand in it. Whatever we do to the earth, we do to ourselves. Thus ends the reading.
Thank you, Karen. Pam, could you let us know if there's a way to meet with the kids and reach out to their families?
sure. On Tuesday afternoons at 4 o'clock, the coming of age kids meet. They are busy working on their face statements, which they're going to share with you in a couple weeks. On Thursday afternoons at 4:30, I have a kids conversation with kids in Spirit Play and in chapel service. It's 7 o'clock for some time.
Thanks, Pam. Now, let us relax. Close your eyes, push yourself away from mouse and keyboard, and take a deep breath. Hold it. Think of your favorite color. If you waver between two, pick the one with the shortest name or that comes first alphabetically. Select one color, your favorite color, and think of something beautiful in that color. Breathe out while that image forms itself in your mind. In the fret and fever of these days, meditating on beauty. Each day, go through your palette of colors and find something beautiful in each. Bathe in the beauty of your life. And now we'll sing our next hymn. John will lead us, and the words will be on your screen.
From all the fret and fever of the day, let there be moments when we turn away, and deaf to all confusing outer din, intently listen for the voice within. In quietness and solitude we find the soundless wisdom of the deeper mind. With clear harmonious purpose let us then bring richer meaning to the world again.
Thank you, John. This is a quote from Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. The day will come when, after harnessing space, the winds, the tides, and gravitation, we shall harness for God the energies of love. And on that day, for the second time in the history of the world, we shall have discovered fire. Fire has been a part of religious services since before there were candles. Perhaps you can light a candle sometime during the fret and fever of your busy day today, as we light a virtual candle now to mark those thoughts that are weighing or dancing on our hearts. If you have an intention to share right now, type it in the chat button at the bottom of your screen. Use all caps. And while you're typing, we'll have some music while those messages come in. I think Jamie has some music that we're going to be playing while people are typing in. Pam, have you had a chance to read through the comments that we've gotten? I've seen some come through the screen.
I'm going to try to do my best. Happy birthday to Jamie Passman on April 20th. We won't ask you how old you are, Jamie. Peace, love, and good health to all the people of the world, and hope for a future where all people live in harmony with nature. Thoughts we send out to Kitty Adora, who has lost an aunt and is dealing, she and Kristen are dealing with some unemployment. So we're sending you love, Kitty and Kristen. Keep in your thoughts Lisa Heckler's sister, Joni, who is recovering after a brain aneurysm. Let's see, sorry, this is so broken up. Kathy Blandford, we're thinking of you. Her brother-in-law died this week. So sad not to be able to be with my sister. Rick Van Zeter says, my brother had to put his dog to sleep last week. Liz Reyes is remembering 5 this. Oh my, did I get them all? Let's see.
Marion Hannah Wilson is thankful that her son has recovered from his post-COVID illness.
Suzanne Lomasny is also working on her recovery, just passed. So happy birthday. Hope you're feeling better soon, Suzanne.
Happy birthday to Michael Wilson, Michael Hannah Wilson.
Yes, and I also wanted to mention that the plant sale, the youth group plant sale, which we usually have in person, is still happening. So you can buy plants and support a local business. Our plan is to deliver them close to contact free at the church when they come in. That's not really an intention, more of an announcement, but we are thinking of everyone during this time, and we wish that we could be together, but we are super happy to see your chats on the line here. So blessed be to everybody.
Thank you, Pam. The walk in the woods that Pam read about makes me think on this Earth Day of the wonder of the forest and the mysteries that trees hold. In The Hidden Life of Trees by Peter Wohlleben, the author describes how trees communicate, not only through their roots, but also through the air. There's a network of root fibers and fibers from fungi called the mycorrhizal network. Trees trade sugar, which they produce through photosynthesis, for nitrogen, which fungi obtain through the soil using this mycorrhizal network. And there's more. Older trees use the network to send sugar to younger trees, which don't get as much sun and don't photosynthesize as much sugar. And trees that are attacked by insects send chemicals through the network to signal to neighboring trees that they're under attack. So the neighboring trees can produce insecticide chemicals. And trees communicate through the air as well. I just read this. In Africa, some acacia trees pump a chemical through their leaves when they're being eaten by giraffes. The chemical stimulates neighboring trees to produce tannins that make the neighboring trees less tasty and can sicken the browsing mammals. But that communication is nothing compared with humans. We're good at communicating. We are the ace of the animal and plant world at communicating. We evolved over millions of years to be good at communicating and good at working together. When human society was no more organized than a pack of wild dogs, we developed the ability and the need to cooperate with each other in defense against predators and in hunting for food. And we shared food with other people because we knew that next time that they had food that we needed, they would share with us. Anyone who broke the rules, who scammed food from other people, who didn't share, who hoarded, got excluded, got left behind. Those selfish people didn't benefit from sharing with others. They weren't as healthy. They didn't live as long. They didn't have as many children, and their genes didn't spread as widely through the gene pool. That's how evolution works. You have a trait that makes you live longer and have more children. That trait gets inherited more and becomes more widespread. If you have a trait that's harmful to you or to your family, you don't have many kids. Those genes don't spread through the gene pool, and those harmful traits get less and less common. We need each other. For 1 million years, we have needed each other. And challenges, disasters, and crises that break our routine wake us up to that fact. We're being reminded of this right now. Despite what our devices say, we need actual physical contact. And despite what big business says, stuff doesn't make us happy. We'll get through this. Some say because we're Americans. It takes Americans a long time to get motivated, to recognize a crisis. But when we do, we're dynamite. We can handle any challenge, solve any problem. Some say we'll get through this because we're people in a community. We need each other and we know it. We're programmed over millions of years to help each other, and we're doing it. We're finding substitute ways to get together, to communicate, to find out, to help each other. And it's a good thing we have all this technology to keep us connected. We've seen our response to this crisis go from surprise, wait, what's happening? To shock, oh, I can't believe it. To despair, to anger, to watching Lori Lightfoot memes. Some have said we can't deal with a crisis, that we've had it too good for too long. But they're wrong. Because we are taking care of each other. We're working together the way we know how, and we're helping each other. And some politicians have said for 40 years that we're on our own. Don't take care of each other because they don't deserve it. Don't expect others to take care of you. You're on your own. But for 40 years, they've been lying to us. We're all in this together. Some have fallen prey to this kind of unceasing propaganda. You can see them on TV, and you probably know some of them. But they are few. They get on TV, but there aren't many of them. Most people, the vast majority of people, most of us recognize that despite the personal loss that staying home will do them, and that loss can be great, it can be severe. The good of their community justifies the sacrifice and the loss. In the words of historian and activist Rebecca Solnit, horrible in itself, disaster is sometimes a door back into paradise, the realm in which we are who we hope to be, do the work we desire, and are each our sisters and brothers keepers. And here's another crisis they've told us there's nothing we can do about, the climate crisis. They told us we can't reduce the amount of driving, we can't reduce corruption or consumption. I saw a meme. You may or may not have seen some memes on the web during this crisis. Here's one that I saw. It's just words, and the first voice is world. There's no way we can shut everything down in order to lower emissions, slow climate change, and protect the environment. And Mother Nature says, hold my beer. Just look around us. Look at all the changes that we're making as a result of this crisis. When this is over, we may see that businesses find out that we can all work from home. In my own job, I'm participating in court hearings by phone, and it's great. I don't have to drive downtown and back an hour each way to attend a 15-minute court hearing. I sit at my desk, and while waiting for my turn, I look up stuff, I move emails, and when it's my turn to talk, I say, "Good morning, Your Honor," and in a few minutes, I'm back at work. I haven't bought gas in weeks. I can meet with clients by video. Hey, if I can figure out Zoom, anybody can. And with fewer people on the road, those who have no choice but to drive around and deliver things and attend meetings by car, they won't have to spend as much time in traffic. Now, these are reported facts. Within days of the shutdown, there's less air pollution of all kinds. Carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, particulate matter, and carbon dioxide, the best known greenhouse gas. In some places in China, they've measured a 25% decrease in some pollutants. Seismologists around the world who measure the vibration of Earth to find earthquakes. Those seismologists, especially those in urban areas, from London to Brussels, from France to the United States to New Zealand, have noticed a decrease in noise from cars and buses and trains. Immediately upon the lockdown, they observed this. Now they can detect earthquakes and other seismic events of much less intensity without all the noise. And there's less noise in each of our heads. The constant fret and fever of each day out in the world, noise, data, stimulus, once relieved, will be easier to ignore and to conquer in the future. This shutdown, this forced idleness may have that benefit, that it's a restart and our minds can be used to processing things like the older ones of us remember used to happen. This could be a seismic shift in the way we conduct our lives. When this is over, we'll have antibodies against complacency and despondency. We'll get through this and we'll remember it. And we'll know that we can take on the next one. I have an announcement about Beltane. You know that Beltane is our annual celebration of the coming of summer. It's always held right around the beginning of May, and it features a fun little pageant and a maypole and dancing and singing and food and drink. Well, this year Beltane is canceled for the first time in our history. It's been going on for 14 years. And as with so many events, we're going to have to cancel or postpone it. I promise when we are all back together, we'll have a whopping celebration of summer. For now, between now and the beginning of May, you can go out in nature. It's permitted by the governor. And by the way, our first maypole back in 2007 was a tree that we cut down in the forest reserve, legally, with a permit. And we decked it with ribbons and danced around that tree. It's the following year that we moved everything to the front lawn of the church and we carved a very nice custom maypole. But that first year was a real tree out in the woods. You can go out and dance around a tree, even if someone is watching. This week is Arbor Day. And every year the Arbor Day Foundation sponsors big tree planting events around the country. Of course, most of those are canceled this year, but you can still join together with lots of people to plant a tree. You can do that just by posting a picture of your favorite tree on social media with the hashtag Arbor Day at Home. Enter Arbor Day at Home in any search engine and get details. Post a photo, use the hashtag, the Arbor Day Foundation will plant a tree in your name. And you'll join with thousands of people around the country in that tree planting virtual celebration. And to mark Beltane in your own space, you can celebrate rituals around the 4 directions, at home or outdoors. East, the spirit of the air. You can hang a feather or a bell or a wind chime at the east end of your home or your yard or your apartment or the parking lot. South is a spirit of fire. Light a candle or incense at the south end of your space. West, the spirit of water. Place a bowl of water at the west end of your home, or toss a rock into a pond or stream and watch the ripples. North, the earth. Place a stone or crystal at your northern border. And above and below is occupied by spirit. Spirit is all around us. It binds us. It can't be seen or felt or touched, much like the electrons that we use to connect with each other these days. And if you wish to mark Beltane, you can sing Summer is a Comin' In. I wouldn't be surprised if the music were played sometime today. We wish you all a happy Earth Day and a beautiful and joyous Beltane. Now let's join together in our next hymn, number 131, Love Will Guide Us. Again, John will lead us and the words will be on your screen.
Love will guide us, peace has dried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.
Thank you, John. How much we yearn for community. Our service today is supported by many people working together during the week and the morning to combine and present these messages and images. And our whole church community supports the church with service, creativity, and resources throughout the year. Please join me in our offering words, which will be shown on the screen. This church is made up of all of us. It is what we learn together, the work we do together, the fun we have together. It is what we share with one another, with people around us, and with all the world. Now, you're all at home, and so are we. So no basket will be coming around. You can imagine that without a basket for cash contributions, and without the visit to church to remind each of us to make a contribution, the church is feeling a little isolated financially. It's important for us, now more than ever, to continue supporting the work of this church. There's a donate button on our website. It's hinsdaleunitarian.org, and it's a big button. It says donate or contribute or words to that effect. I'm not telling you exactly so that you go look and find it. There you can make your pledge payment. And if you can give a bit more to the work of this community, we are immensely grateful. You can also send your payments by mail. We're checking the mail at church regularly. Thank you, Jamie. Now we'll extinguish the chalice, and we extinguish the chalice with these words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of its truth, the warmth of this community, nor the fire of our commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with all the world. Karen?
Thank you. This reading, The Peace of Wild Things, is pretty familiar. It's by Wendell Berry. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free.
And now, as we prepare to go out into the world, our own spaces and the world around us, let's have a good summer song.